Stefan, hi. Nice to see you again.
Hi Felix.
How's it going?
It's going good. Thank you.
Very nice. Stefan actually used to be my old boss at AMG, so why don't you tell the guys at home what it is that you do at AMG?
Okay, I'm Stefan. I'm head of customer racing and I'm responsible for the AMG motorsport operations.
So Thomas already told us a lot about the different cars that we have in the portfolio for customer racing. Now I want to see how they get produced. How do they get made? What's the specialties about this facility that we're in right now?
Let's have a look at where we are. So what we can see here is the heart of our AMGs. This is our Mercedes AMG 6.3 liter natural aspirated engine, which is made in our plant from Mercedes AMG mechanics, one man, one engine. And this is for sure the heart of our car. And we are here in our pre-assembly area where we took all the parts from the stock and we prepare the pre-assembly for our cars, which we see later. So we have here the steering column, the engine obviously, and going further back we can see something specific from our cars, that we have the engine in the front, the gearbox in the rear, means transaxle principle, connected with a torque tube, and going back to the car to a 6-speed sequential gearbox from Hewland. And if everything is proved and collected once, I think it's ready to get into the cars.
It's amazing. I mean, the basic principle up until this point is identical to the regular GT. I mean, you got the engine in the front, the gearbox in the back, you got the torque tube in the middle. What is bespoke GT3 about this setup?
Yeah, on one hand, you try to make everything lighter. You know, you make it more aggressive, and you make a specific development for the race use. And the biggest difference, the engine and torque tube is quite road specific, but the gearbox is something specific. Because obviously our road car gearbox is bigger and it's made for starting and stopping and so on. And this is made to have to get the maximum out of the drivetrain, to be very efficient. And to be very light, to guarantee an overall car principle, a good weight balance for front to rear of about 50-50.
How do you achieve that lightness? Is it a special material that's in there, or?
Yeah, it is. It's magnesium.
This is magnesium?
It is.
Oh, wow. Impressive. Not bad. How many races can you race with one gearbox before you have to overhaul it?
It's not about races, because you know you have different specific races. 1 hour, 4 hours, and 24 hours, like we had the 24 Nürburgring just 2 weeks ago. It's made for a mileage. So this gearbox needs to be rebuilt after 10,000 kilometers, roughly. And then we overhaul it here in the workshop next to this, and then you can go again for another 10,000.
Crazy. Everything happens in a very, very close perimeter. I mean, the engines get produced right around the corner, everything gets assembled here, overhauling happens here.
Yes.
That's pretty impressive. So how do we get this into the car?
Here, you can see it. You can roll it.
So we take a look further down the production line? Cool.
Let's do so.
Awesome. Nice. So here it is. This is the production line?
It is. This is the start of everything.
This is the start of everything, and this I recognize, a GT chassis. That's pretty much the same one as in the production car, right?
It is, at least the core of it. You see some cuts here and there, a different...
There's a pretty big hole there, yeah.
It is, and it's not centered, so it's not a roof window. It's a so-called roof hatch. So it's a security function topic to get, in case of an accident, easy access to the driver's head to remove the helmet before you take him out of the car. Here you can see the biggest thing is the fuel cell.
The fuel cell, not the tank. All right.
No, you see both. Inside it's a fuel cell. And what you can see here out of CFK, it's a firewall. It's a sealed case for the fuel cell, which is also out of a kind of rubber, which secures if the cell is damaged that no fuel is coming out in the passenger. In direction to the passenger. So.
Yeah, this looks pretty sturdy, I gotta say. I mean, this is just a huge block of carbon fiber.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It needs to be safe in case of a big crash and the car's rolling, so everything should be there and should be sealed.
And theoretically, you could refill it from both sides, I see, right?
Exactly. You only need to change the valvings and the intakes, and then you can decide depending on the track and the track layout if it's going right or left, clockwise, anti-clockwise. So this is also where the mechanics are. So
Awesome.
that's why.
Yeah, that's pretty nifty. That's a very nice feature. And all the lines and everything are already in the car, I can see, right?
Yeah, it's the lines, it's the air jack system to jump the car for the pit
yeah,
stops.
I can see it, yeah.
And obviously also all the electronics. ECU, battery, the electric loom is installed together with the steering column and the ABS unit.
Yeah, there I can see it.
So pretty much what we see, it's a finish of stage 1 of our production line.
So all the innards, all the vanes are in the car, and then we move on from there.
Stage 2.
Stage 2.
So this is very interesting.
Absolutely, this is the marriage.
You saw our drivetrain pre-assembled. We talked about it before, and here it gets married to the car, so to the chassis. With introduction of our GT4 car in 2018, we changed the way how we assembled the car. Because you're right, starting with the SELS and then also with the GT3 in 2016, we had a single car assembly. Each workstation had 2-3 mechanics, and they assembled the car from the scratch, from 0 to 100. And at the end, it was a quality check, and then it gets delivered to the customer. And with more cars, because this line going through GT4 and GT3 cars, even if this is not a full automatic system, so you can't see any robots, still it's a lean process and helps us.
How many cars do you get through that production line in a certain period of time?
Up to 3 cars per week.
3 cars per week?
Yeah.
Wow, with that amount of actual manual labor that goes into their manufacturing, that's not too bad.
The good thing, if you imagine that you always have a process in station by station, then you can imagine that it's possible.
Yeah, I can see that. Pretty cool. Where do we go on from here? Marriage is done, and then we go to the next
stage 3.
station. So this is it, stage number 3.
Yes, it would be.
Okay,
So,
it would be. So there's no car here at the moment, of course.
Obviously not. We put here bodywork parts on the car, the rear. We assembled also the cooling package in the front, the cooling package for the gearbox, and small minor things like this to get closer to the next stage.
Okay.
But let's not talk too much about this here. I want to show you something very interesting, which is part of the bodywork, to showcase our lightweight concept. It's really impressive. Let's come up. Because here you see a door.
I see a door. Looks like a regular door, but it is, of course, carbon fiber.
It's so impressive. You can't believe.
I mean, a regular car door, that's a hefty thing, and this is okay.
Yeah, have a look.
I mean, this is like a frisbee. I mean, how heavy is that?
It's a heavy frisbee, but let's say 14 kilos.
14 kilos.
Not more. And I think one of the heaviest parts is the window.
Wow, that is really impressive. I mean, this is practically nothing. This is nothing for such a huge part. Absolutely amazing. Wow.
Yeah,
okay, that really goes to show that you take the lightweight business very serious.
Yeah, but also the regulation allows us. You know, the door from this road car is quite heavy. But on a road car, the door is an integral fact to protect the driver. Because the driver is not sitting in a seat cage. And we have, Thomas told you about, a monocoque where the driver is seated in. That's why this protects the driver. On top there's a roll cage. And that's why the door is only to close the car.
Keep the weather out.
Exactly.
Wow, not bad. Really impressive. It's pretty cool. So now here we see all the bodywork is already pretty much finished.
Yep, at least in the rear. So, and we concentrate to go to the front. But you see the guys here checking each sensor of the car, and the mechanics will put on the suspension. The underfloor gets integrated, and the complete front end with lights and aerodynamic package from the front. So here you can see in the front also suspension is already in. You see the beautiful engine with the air intake, air filter.
Now everything comes together. Here's the air restrictor, right?
This is the part of the car which I hate most.
It restricts the power, yeah. It should go.
It's unbelievable. If you see such pipes, this is what the engine needs to breathe free, to impress the maximum performance. But now we are forced from the regulation to breathe through such a hole. But it's what it is, and we are not alone. That's for the whole competition. But it's necessary to balance the competition.
It's all about the balance of performance. Yeah.
It is, and luckily we are on the side that we can get reduced by power. It would be a shame if we would need more.
True, definitely. Yeah, so stage 4, when that's completed, we get to the final stage, right?
Yeah, and here you see also that we are flexible with our cars. You see here the GT4 car.
Coming from the GT3 to the GT4, yeah, that's also really impressive that you can just jump back and forth between cars.
Yeah, it's for the mechanics also something that they not only do the single car, always the same work. So now here they collected the GT4 car, and here the car gets the finish. So all the setup work, we adjust the dampers, we adjust the ride height, the camber, toe, and all those adjustments to provide our customers a good base setup that this car is race ready when it's delivered.
I mean, it looks finished as is, so pretty much I could jump in now and have a go, theoretically.
The car got the quality check, so it's about you.
I don't know if I got the quality check. Yeah, I have to admit, I guess I've got to find out someday.
Okay, but yes, you can jump in, you can start it, and you can drive out into the trailer.